edition. I can't find the
You can't find
developer
developer
edition.
edition?
No.
Okay, I'm going to copy this link. Let's see. Why is it not letting me copy? Okay, I'm just going to go there if it doesn't let me copy. You said experiencing high demand. Why? Are you getting the same message?
No, I'm on the website.
Oh, I wonder why I cannot speak. Hello, Tony. Let me try another browser and see. Let's try this one. Let me see what version. I want us all to use the same version. I don't remember what version I put here. Probably 2019. Yeah, 2019. Okay. So let's see. Tony, did you have a? Yeah, I'm getting the same message. Tony, did you have chance to look at the download of SQL Server? Yeah, high demand.
I'm currently working on downloading it.
Okay. I was going to for whatever reason, I'm not able to get to the website. They said they're experiencing high demand. But Wale, since you're on the website, are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, let me share for you.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes. So, yes, that's the developer on the left. Now,
Where?
okay, and this is 2019 exactly. I want you to download 2019.
No,
So
this
click.
is a YouTube video.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm trying to. Yeah, this is the website.
Okay. So SQL Server download. Okay. Scroll down. Maybe the discontinued developer edition. The community, I don't want you to use the community edition. There are some things it cannot do. Maybe scroll up a little bit. Install on containers, no. SQL Server on-premise, no. Developer 2025. Yeah, they have developer, but it's giving you 2025. I want you to do 2019 so that we have the same version. But let's try it. If you don't find 2019, you will come back and download 25.
Can I search it up?
Yes. SQL Server 2019 downloads. That's Express. Go back to this thing and put developer. It's still giving you 2025. I would have loved 2019. Is the mission? Check it. Okay, click that. Let's see. Yeah, click that. Yeah, it does downloaded it. So please please copy that link and either put it in the chat or reply the email. So I think they moved where they put it. Yeah. So Tony, please use that link. Yeah, I prefer every one of us to use 2019. So okay, let me share my screen and then I'll just walk you through how it works. So now, like I said, there are 3 parts to it. We want to be able to use SQL Server in the class. So you first download SQL Server, you install it. After you install it, you will now download the SQL Server Management Studio. You install that as well.
So do we
After you
install
install
basic, custom, or download media?
Media. Try media.
Download media.
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, you download SQL Server. Second, after you install SQL Server, you download Management Studio. After that, you download the database. So 3 parts: download SQL Server, download Management Studio, then download database. So I want us to use the developer edition, which is better than the Express edition. So when you download, I have the instruction here, double click to install. So the file you are going to download, it's not like the regular installation file. You are going to need to be connected to the internet because the file you download itself is not enough to install it. When you download it, when you start running that application, it's going to connect online to a Microsoft website and get more installation file to do for you. So yeah, you need to be connected to the internet to do it. So you know how on Windows, when you double click something, it starts to run. At a point, you get to this point. SQL Server 2019 Developer Edition. Before you close this, make sure you take a screenshot. I don't know if I put that in the instruction. When the installation is complete, you'll see the information displayed below. You may want to save this. Yeah, I mentioned it, that you may want to save it. Make sure you take a screenshot like this because this information is very important. Occasionally, you may need this. But yeah, you must not forget this. Although there's a way to get it, but it's just better you don't forget it. So after that, the good thing is this. I mentioned that you are going to install 3 things. You are going to download and install SQL Server, you are going to install Management Studio, and then you are going to download and install the database. The good thing is, when you install SQL Server, when it's done, and you get this part, when you get this part, that shows you SQL Server is already installed on your computer. You will not need to go back and download Management Studio. The shortened form of Management Studio is called SSMN. SSMN means SQL Server Management Studio. Right from this page, after the installation of SQL Server, you will see the option to install SSMS. You click it. But if you don't click this, if for whatever reason you forget to click this, or let's say it closes or something, there's a link I have here where you can download Management Studio. Now, as at this time that I took this screenshot in 2022, So I used SSMS 19. I don't know the current version. We probably have 2024 or 2025. That one does not matter. You can use any version that you want for that one. So if you click this link and it gives you anything other, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Here I downloaded SSMS 19. When you go to this website, you may see something different. In fact, you will see something different at the top. You will see another version. It's okay to install that version. But if for whatever reason you want to have the same version as I do, you can scroll down on this page. You see older versions, and then you can go to version 19. But yeah, it doesn't matter what version you use. So you click it, and then you download, install again. So actually, I used 18, not 19. I used 18.2. So the file that you'll be that will be downloaded will be called SSMS setup ENU. At least as at the time I took this screenshot, I don't know if they've changed the name. Then you install it. Now, after you install, that means you now have both SQL Server and Management Studio on your computer. Then, if you just click the Windows button, at the top, usually you will see new. You see some things that have new. You see SQL Server Management Studio 18. Most of the time, it's going to be a folder like this. You click the folder and then the applications under it will open. You expand the folder. The applications under it will open, and then you click Management Studio. You see? You expand SQL Server Tools 18. Mine is 18. Yours will most likely not be 18. But whatever it is, you will expand it. Now, if for whatever reason you click Windows and you don't see Management Studio, just search for it. Management. And then it shows up. This might even be easier. It shows up here, you just click it. Or just click here, you may see it may show up here. So you click Management Studio, SQL Server Management Studio, and then it opens like this. This is what I have. Let me actually close this and open it so you can see.
Whenever I install it, it just says download successful, and then it doesn't show anything else.
So
It's,
you downloaded the file, you
Mhm.
installed the file, and it says download successful.
Yes. Can I
Okay.
show you so you can?
Yes. Share your screen. Anthony, please, if you are trying it and you have any issue, please let me know.
So this is after I downloaded it, and it downloads into a file like this.
Okay.
So then
So
the file
yeah,
just
for whatever reason, it did not take you to. Okay, I think it's done. Now you can manually let me put the link, or if you have the PDF open, or you can just Google SQL Server Management Studio.
this.
Now, I'm afraid. Okay, I'm afraid something must have gone wrong. Okay, yeah, you can download Management Studio 22, but I'm afraid something went wrong because you don't have your login details, which should have shown when you installed Management Studio. I mean, when you installed the SQL Server. So to go back to the installation file. Let me see it. You can go back, go to downloads.
This.
No. Go to your downloads folder.
Um. Is this what you're talking about, or where it downloaded?
No. You can close this. Let's start all over again.
Okay,
Close that SQL Server 2019 developer.
and then re-download it.
No. You already downloaded it. Let's install it. It should be in your downloads folder. Is this your downloads folder?
My downloads folder is kind of scattered
Well,
around the
okay.
place because I have so many
Okay, I
things.
think that's it. Go back. I think I see SQL Server. Go back. I think that's first one. I think it's that first one. Right click it. What happened? Go back there. Right click that. It doesn't give you option to, okay, double click.
Yeah, I'm
You should
double
have
clicking. I think because this showed up after I downloaded it. This was where
that is strange.
it came from here.
Okay. I'll click basic. Accept. What's the error? I cannot see.
Oh
What's
no,
what's in red? Drive.
it says that there's no space.
Oh, so that's a problem. You may need to either delete some things on your computer or use another computer.
Does it? It has to be on my C drive.
No, it doesn't have to. It can be any drive. So you can change, you see where it says installation location? Yeah, you can change it to anywhere you want.
I'm trying to put it here. Valid location.
Just type it.
I should type it.
Yeah, so d colon dash, slash rather, colon slash. No,
Or is
backward
there a way I
slash.
can?
Oh, you want to go copy the location? Yeah, you can go copy a location and just put it there. You know what? Close this. Let's do one thing. Close this. Then open it again. Go back to click the download file.
Then this
Now,
one.
basic. Click basic. Accept. Now, don't do anything. No. Close this. Click the install location and just change from C to D. No. Close this.
Oh, here.
Yeah. Just change from C
Okay.
to D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then install. Okay. So change that to D as well. Is it letting you change it? Click See if it lets you change the location.
Doesn't let me even.
It won't let you. Okay, try to copy that location.
This one?
Yes, copy it. Paste somewhere. If you have notepad or something on your computer, paste it. Okay, now put them side by side.
Which one? These two?
That notepad and SQL Server installation, put them side by side so that we can see both of them at the same time. Okay, now click that box. The icon next to, yeah. Click that, so it took you there. Now, click in the path. Just click anywhere in the path. At the at the top where you see this PC location at the end, click. Now go to the beginning and change from C to D. Okay. It did not let you. Okay, let's leave that one on C drive. Close this. That's just a log. We can leave that one. Oh, wait, it said unable to install. Why? Fatal error, and it did not give you the error code. See if you can copy that error code and Google. I'm not sure what that error code is.
Okay.
The 206 something something.
Or when we're like installing the SQL server, should we do basic instead of download media?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is not a republic. It's usually corrupted media or permission issue. So how is it fixed? Open the SQL Server log. Look at the folder name that match you. Review summary. The log discover drill into specific log. Every log can create media problem. Or similar information is likely damaged. Delete the download SQL Server image again. Okay. If you guys are having problem with 2019, let's go for 2025, the latest one.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted, maybe I will install 25 as well. I wanted to also have the same thing so that what I'm showing you in class is what you see on your computer as well. That's why I wanted you to do 25. So 2019. So this is Management Studio. Go back to
Which
SQL
one?
Server download. I saw it just now. Yeah.
This
Download.
one?
Yes. Standard Developer Edition. Another instance, close the one that was running. Don't say you're running. Why is it complaining? Okay. Open Task Manager. Okay. Search for SQL Server. End task. Okay. Then try again. Basic. Change to D. Oh, just cancel this. Just, yeah, right. Overwrite it to D. Install. So Tony, you can try 2025 as well.
Okay, cool.
Um, sorry, I'm gonna change it to F because
Okay.
yeah, okay, it's not gonna let me. I'll just keep it as D. Because I don't know why. It won't let me. Oh, this is an external drive.
Oh, okay.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to look at my C drive. For some reason, it's full, and I don't even download things on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's something I don't know. I think it's because my C drive is full.
Yeah, that may be.
Okay, while you're, I'll try to delete some stuff and see if we'll free up space while you're
Yeah.
looking.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen and then I will continue. Tony, let me know if you have any issue and you'd like me to look at it.
It's I'm trying to clear my own storage too, but I'm working on
Oh,
downloading it.
okay. Okay. So after you guys install SQL Server, uh, most likely it will prompt you to install SSMS. But if it doesn't prompt you, you can either go through this link or just Google SSMS and then download it. So you can download any version you want. I have version 18, but that one, the version does not matter for that one. So you download, you install it. After you install it, it's going to be in your on your computer. So you can either click the Windows button and then you see most likely at the top you see new, anything that has new like this, you see SQL Server uh SQL Server to 2018, which you will expand, and then you see Microsoft SQL Server Management. Alternatively, on the search box, just search Management Studio. This is actually a faster way. Just type search for Management Studio. You don't even need to type it completely. Just type MAN and then it shows you. Just click. Now, SQL Server and Management Studio, they are like pen and ink. If you have a pen, there's no ink in it, it's not going to work. If you have ink, there's no pen, you cannot use the ink at all. You must have both. It's the same thing with SQL Server installation and Management Studio. The SQL Server installation is the SQL Server is actually the engine that we are going to use. But you cannot get to the engine without clients. Okay, this is a better example. If your school email, you probably log into maybe Gmail to access your school Gmail. Let's assume your school email is, let's say, temitayoilori@ivoran.com. Let's say that's your school email. To access it, you probably either go to gmail.com or you go to Outlook. Now, Gmail or Outlook is not your email. They are just a client that you use to access your email. If you just have Gmail or you have Outlook, let's just forget about Gmail. From now, I will just be mentioning Outlook. If you have Outlook, let's say Outlook app on your computer or your phone, or you just go to outlook.com. If you don't log in with your credentials, you cannot access your email. Or if you have your email, you don't use a client to log in, you cannot access it. So both go hand in hand. You need a client, an email client, to access your email. The client itself is not sufficient. The email itself is not sufficient. You need both of them together to get your email. It's the same thing with SQL Server Engine and SQL Server Management Studio. Management Studio is like a client or interface that interacts with the SQL Server engine that you use. That's why we have to download both. But there's one third thing that I said we are going to download, which is the database. You can have SQL Server, you can have Management Studio. If you don't have a database, you can't say anything. Again, if you come to the issue of pen and ink, you can have pen and ink. If there's no paper, you don't have anything to write on. You need a paper to write on it. So that's how database is. Remember, this program is all about analyzing data. Your data has to be stored somewhere. The first class we had was in Excel. You have your data stored in Excel. But Excel is not a database. We'll talk more about that as time goes on. Later on, we went to Tableau. Tableau, you bring in your data into Tableau. Your data has to live somewhere. So that is a database. A database is any tool that houses your data. So you still need to connect to a database. But having said that, so we have SQL Server installed, we have Management Studio installed. You open Management Studio for the first time, this is what you see. This place where I have server name, if you are opening for the first time, this will be empty. There will be nothing there. That is why I said that when you install SQL Server and you get here at the end, make sure you take this screenshot. SQL Server Administrator. What you have under it, you see now I have laptop CF something something / Tammy. If I go here, you see laptop something something. That's what I have as the database. You saw / Tammy. That's what I have here. So what you have in that screenshot, whatever you have before / is your server name. This that I highlighted is my server name. This, everything here is my username. This is basically telling us that this person called Tammy has access on this database called laptop something something. That's why everything here is my username. The good thing is you don't need a password here. If you want, you can create a password, but you don't need. Why do you not need a password? As long as you are working on your personal computer, you may not even have password on your personal computer, but Management Studio assumes that you are the one that is connecting. So it doesn't ask you for password. That's why you can see that password is empty here. But you see that I entered the server name, then username was entered automatically. I have Windows authentication. What this Windows authentication means is that whatever user I used to log into my computer is the same user that Management Studio is trying to use to connect to SQL Server. There are other forms of authentication. If you are working in your place of work, you might be required to use another one. If you use SQL Server authentication, you are going to have to enter both the username and password. Wale, do you have anything?
No, I was typing.
Oh, okay. So some will require MFA, multi-factor authentication. You type your username, a code goes to your phone, and then you type the code, or there's an authenticator app on your phone that you click and then you'll be able to sign in. There are other one, Active Directory, password, Active Directory integrated. But for now, the only one you need is this Windows authentication. Make sure that you take a screenshot of this. You may also need this, but it's not as useful as this. This is the most useful thing, the most useful information that you have on this page. Without it, you cannot log in. If something now happens that, let's say you took a screenshot and you forgot where you saved it. There's one way to retrieve it. Let's see if you can try to do it. Click this. Now, you see other things here because I've connected to other databases. But when you click this drop down, you see browse for more. If you forget the server name, click this drop down, click browse for more, and then expand database engine. Then you find the name there. When you find the name, just click OK. And then it will be entered here automatically. So just in case you forget it. But the good thing is, once you enter it for the first time, Management Studio is going to remember this name, so that anytime you open Management Studio, it always comes up. If for whatever reason it doesn't come up, just go here, click browse for more, expand database, click OK, and you have it here. One important thing here, the server type. When you log in, it's always default to database engine. Don't change it. We have other options: analysis services, reporting services, integration services, Azure SSIS services. For the purpose of this class, we are dealing with database. Therefore, we are going to use database engine. These other options, they are for different purposes, which are beyond the scope of this class. So just make sure that you always select database engine. And then you click connect. When you click connect, on the left-hand side there, you see Object Explorer. And under it, you see the same server name that you try to log into. You see it there. If you hover your cursor over it, you see your username at the end. And then you see all of this. Most of the options here are the things you will not need for the purpose of this class. What you will need in this class is this one, databases. Just expand it. You see how I have these two. When you expand databases for the first time, you are not going to see this, because you have SQL Server installed, you have Management Studio installed, you do not have any database to work with. It's like you have an ink, you have a pen, you have an ink inside your pen, but you don't have a paper. You still cannot write yet. You have to install a database. You can create your own database. Right click, click new database, and you can create it. But for the purpose of this class, we are going to use database that somebody else has already created. Now, if you go back to the instruction, you see how to download the database. See, this is what you see. You see systems database, and please don't do anything here. System database, if you expand this, you see all of this. Do not do anything here. If you do something, there's a chance that you could delete something that will break SQL Server. So see, anything systems database, don't even get there. Database snapshots, you won't need it. You see, when I expanded it, nothing even showed. But this is something important that don't touch, just leave it. Which is these two things that you see under database. So I said here, the next step is to install a database. You go to this link. Then you see Adventure Works. Now, you can download, you can either go get it on GitHub, or you can download a script to get it, Now, if you go back, there is Adventure Work DW and there is just Adventure Works. I think we use DW. Yeah. Download it, you can download it. The screenshots, the website looks a little different than it used to do. It used to look. This was the way it used to look when I took that screenshot. But now this is how it looks. You see here, install Adventure Works. Install from the backup. Use this one. Click this to go get it from backup. I believe I mentioned that here. Did I mention backup here? Yeah. Restore from backup. So make sure that you select install from backup and go here. Let's go there. It's taking us back. Okay. Now you see Adventure Works 2025. I think I had, what version did I have? I had 2019. Adventure Work DW 2019. Let's see if we still have 2019. If you have it, we'll use that. If we don't have it, we'll use another one. That's fine. 2019 DW. Let's search for 2019. DW. Yeah. Scroll down. First of all, go to this link that I gave you. Go to this section called Install from a Backup. Click this link, AdventureWorks Sample Databases on GitHub. It will take you here. Just search for 2019. When you search for 2019, you will see AdventureWorks 2019 .bak. No, that's not the one. You see AdventureWorks LT 2019. No, that's not the one. This third one is the one you are going to install. AdventureWorks DW 2019.bak. Click this and then it will be downloaded. See, now it's downloaded. When this downloads, if you follow this instruction, you can copy it to a new place. It's still possible to leave it in your downloads folder, but it might be better to copy it to another place. Now, what you are going to do is, after you downloaded it, right-click databases, not system database. Right-click databases. Click Restore Database. You have two options here. First option is database. Second option is device. Change to device. When you change to device, click these three dots. You see file here. You see option for URL, but use file. Then click add. Now, you will navigate to where you have this thing, where you downloaded it. Now, as you can see here, I can't even see my downloads folder. You know, when you download something, it goes to your downloads folder. But as you can see here, I don't see my downloads folder here. Everything is under C. Now, what I'm going to do is come here. You see backup file location? Come to this place and copy this link. Go open, and please stop me if you guys have any question. Please stop me and ask your question. When you come here, copy this part. Go to File Explorer. Paste that part. It takes you here. Then go cut if what you downloaded is in your downloads folder. Go to your downloads folder, cut it, and paste it here. You can see that I have two files here. AdventureWorks DW 2019.bak, and I have Worldwide Importer. That's why I have these two databases. For you, don't worry about the Worldwide Importer. Just download the AdventureWorks 2019.bak. The extension .bak indicates that it's a backup file. Remember I said we want to use a database that somebody else has already created. The person created it and took a backup of it. That's what we are going to use. So go copy from or cut it from your downloads folder and put it in this folder. It must be in this folder. If it's not in this folder, you won't be able to connect. After you put it in this folder, you can come back here. You may not see it immediately. If you don't see it, just click this refresh button and then it shows up. After it shows up, click OK. Click the backup file that you just dropped in that folder. Click it, then click OK. I don't want to click OK because I already have it. When you click OK, I believe you are going to click OK like 3 different times. When you click OK first, it shows you another place. You click OK, it takes you to another place. You click OK. Yes, I believe, yeah. This is the second one. You click OK. This is the third one. You click OK. After you click OK here, this database will automatically appear here, which is what we are going to be using in this class. Now expand that database. You see different options here. What we are going to use is the tables. Expand tables. Occasionally, I'm going to show you some things in the database diagram. I'm going to show you views. The rest of this, we are not going to need in class. But the one we are going to need most is the tables. So expand tables. And then you have all of this. These are all the tables that you have. Now, just like I told you not to do anything under the systems database, don't do anything under systems tables. If you go there, you go delete a system table, you could corrupt something in SQL Server. So don't do it. Even here, you won't need to do anything here. External table. In fact, you will not need to do anything in any of these folders. So just keep them. But then you have all of these tables. Then maybe a few tables that you see here that you are not going to see on your own in your own database because I created them. Like this one, you won't see this, you won't see this. I created those one myself. Now, okay, let me show you one time. Just select any one of these tables. Let's say dates. Right click and then select top 1000 records, 1000 rows. Click left click it. And then in the canvas here, you see all the columns that you have in your table. Then at the bottom here, you see two tabs. You see result. Result also has the columns and it contains the data. You can scroll left and right to see your data. Now, if you scroll down, you can scroll up and down as well. If you scroll down, you see that we have 1,000 records in this table. If you right click the table, you click properties, this should tell you, let's look at storage. Yeah, this tells you we have, in this table, we have 3,600 rows. But here we can only see the top 1,000. Why? Because when I right clicked, I selected top 1,000. The first 1,000 records that were entered into this table is what you see here, not all the data in the table. There's a way to see all of them. We'll talk about it later. This is just, so this class is just an overview. So you see the top 1,000 records here. If you want, you can save this result. Like if you want to save this result on your computer, you can save it. If you click here, you select all the rows, all the columns. You can now right click anywhere. You can copy. When you copy, you will not copy when you click copy, it will copy only the data. The column names are not included. If you want the column names included, click copy with headers. Let's go to Excel, for instance, so that you can see that it has been copied. I click and paste. You see, all of the data that we just saw in the database are now here. Let's check how many records. 1,000 records. This go to 1,001 because the column name is on row 1. So 1,000 records. All the records that we have here, that's what you copied. But you have other options. You can actually, rather than copying and saving and pasting in Excel, you can save right from here. Click Save Result. You can select, you have CSV, but you can select other things like text files, CSV. Remember I told you CSV and text files, they are the same. So you have that. If you, at the bottom here, you see this laptop CS something something. Remember, that's the server name that we connected to. This is my username. This is the name of the database. This is how long it took. This is a code or a query. This is how long it took to run. And this is how many rows we see in the result. That doesn't mean this is the number of rows in the table, but what we see in the result. If you go to the second tab, you see information. Under messages, you see information. This tells you the number of rows that showed up in the result. And this tells you the completion time. Any question before we move on? Okay. Now, let's look at a few things in this interface. I've just shown you the Object Explorer. Sometimes you may close the Object Explorer by mistake. How can you bring it back? Go to View and you see Object Explorer or press F8 and then you bring it back. At the top of Object Explorer, you see Register Server. This is especially useful if you have multiple servers that you are working with. In your place of work, you are going to have multiple servers. There can be hundreds or even thousands of servers that you are going to work with. Now, you worked with one server 10 days ago. Now, today, you need to work with the same server. You've forgotten the name. It could be when you pick this drop down, it could be in this list. But if it's a long list, it could be difficult for you to be searching. That's why you can register a server. If I expand database engine, I actually don't have anything. Okay, I do have two things registered, but they are basically the same. This is just uppercase, this is lowercase, that's all. So under local server, any server that I know I connect to often, I can save it here so that I can easily come rather than cramming the memorizing the name or coming here. How did I get it? Right? I click this thing that looks like a plug. And that's what brought it. Remember when you open Management Studio for the first time, this comes. But after you're already working there, if you need to bring it back, just click this icon, this plug item, Connect Objects Explorer, and then you bring this. So rather than having to look for a specific server in this list, I can save a server to under, again, let's say we have thousands of servers. And out of the thousands of servers, I only connect to like 10 regularly. It's better for me to have it saved under local group than having to look for it here. So, how do you save a server under here? Go to the server. Now, I have connected to a server here. You can connect to multiple servers. Go to a specific server you have connected to here. Right click and then click register. Type the name you want to use. It may not be the name of the server. Sorry, here is actually it has to be the name of the server, but here is the name you want to give it. The standard is to give it the same name as the server name, but if for whatever reason you have a different name you use to remember it, type it here. If you want, you can type a description. And then click save. When you click save, it appears under here. If I'm not connected here, if I want to disconnect, right now I'm connected. If I want to disconnect, I will click this second one. To connect, click this plug. To disconnect, click this other plug that has X, red X next to it to disconnect. I just disconnected. I don't have my server. I can't go to my database here. If I want to bring it back, I either need to click this and then select the server I want from here, or now that I have it saved, I can just double click it and it gets opened automatically. It did not even take me to the authentication place again, because part of the things we saved when we registered it is the authentication. So if I close this again, the moment I double click it, it authenticates and it brings it back to me. So that's what the local server group does. The Azure Data Studio, it's another application that you can see from here. Right now, I have Azure Server, Data Studio. You probably not have it, but don't worry about it. Now, again, any question before we move on? Okay. If you click File, you have different options. Okay, you see that plug again, you can connect. You see the second plug again, you can disconnect. You see the new, you can create a new project, a new file, a new query, a new database engine. You have all these other ones. Never mind, you are never in this class. You are not going to need this. They are beyond the scope of this class. Open. You can open an existing project folder. You can go open a file, analysis services database. Don't worry about that. New connection or file disconnected. Add. You can add new project, existing project. Right now, we are working with a project. This is by working like this. This is a project on its own. Now, you can close this. If you no longer need Management Studio, you can close this. You can close solution, but Management Studio will still be open. Right now, I told you earlier that this is a query. There may be a need for me to come back to this query that I created. I'm working here today. When I'm done, I can close this. But if I know I'm going to need that query again, rather than closing it, I should save it. Let's do another one here. Top 1000. This doesn't have data. Select top 1000. This has data. If I know this code that I wrote, I am going to need it again. I don't want to close it. I want to save it. There are at least two ways to save it. One way is right click and then click save this. When I click save this, it's going to save it for me. But it's going to use this name. Remember, you see this SQL query 3.SQL. This is the name SQL Server is going to use to save it for me. If I just right click, I click save. But I may not want to use that name. I may want to use a name that is more descriptive, that I'm going to remember. If you just see a file on your computer that's as says SQL query 3, you're not going to remember what code or query you are against. So rather than doing that, you can come to file. Now, this right clicking and saving is the same thing as going to file and clicking save. But if you want to give it another name, click save as. And then it gives option. It will, by default, it always save to this SQL Server Management Studio folder. But if you want to go to save it another place, it's fine. Rather than giving it that name SQL query 3, I cannot change it to another name I want. And then I save it. Then save up. You can have, right now I have this code. I can have another code. So now I have to. I can save all, or rather than saving this first and then saving this, I can save all of them by clicking save all. Now, these two options are not highlighted. You can use them to view in browser. You can use them. If you want to print, you can set up the page. This is typical of any Microsoft product. You can set up the way the page looks like when you print, and then you can print. Now, you can reopen recent files. These are some files that I've saved previously on my computer, SQL files that I've saved. You can reopen them from here. You can reopen a project. I have not used any solution or project recently. You can reopen them if you have them. You can exit. Edit. You can go to a specific line. Right now, you see on in the canvas here, you see line number. You are not going to see this line number when you open your own. I'm going to show you shortly. I'm going to show you how to make the line number appear. From my own experience, this line number is really, really nice to have. Especially when you're troubleshooting. You have a problem, your code is not working. Management Studio can tell you what line has the problem. If you don't have the line number here, it could be difficult to know where it is. But you can go to edit and you can go to a specific line, to a specific file, to wherever you want to go. You can go search for something within your script or in a specific file. When you type something, you can undo, redo, you can cut, paste. These are all the same set of functions that we already used to on Microsoft products. No. So these bottom ones, you don't need them. View. You can go open something. If you already have something saved, you can go open it. Open with open objects explorer. I showed you earlier. Object details. Go open register server and so on. These are just some of the items you see around here. If you close them to reopen them again, that's how you see them. Then query. You can go connect or disconnect. Right now we are connected to this database. Query. You see something here. If I click here, query does not show. If I click inside the canvas here, that's where query shows. So query, you can open in Object Explorer. You can most of the items here are the things we are not going to talk about in this class because you don't need them. It's when you do, there's something called database administration. In this class, oh, did somebody put something in the chat? Okay, that was from before. Now, in this class, you are learning data analysis. There is a profession called database administrator. Those are the ones that create database, they manage database, they fix databases and things like that. Those are the ones that actually will be working with some of the things like trace query and so on. So don't bother yourself about all of this. Yeah. Then project, again, you see that it's not highlighted, you don't need it. Tools, now, you won't need this profiler. This is used to troubleshoot, which you are not going to need in this class. Training advisor, again, all of these things you are not going to use. The thing that will be useful to you is options. I said I was going to show you how to bring out this number, this line number. Click options, and then you see this. Now, go to text editor. Go to general. Is it general? Oh, go to transact SQL and then general. Does anybody? Yeah, and then you see line number. If I uncheck this, let me uncheck it so you see what I'm talking about. See, the line numbers are gone. To bring it back, go to tools, options, under text editor, under transact SQL, under general, you see line numbers, check the box, click OK, and then the line number appears. Anytime I'm using Management Studio, I will always make sure I bring this. I include the line number because it helps me, especially if I have to troubleshoot. So besides that, you won't really need anything here. Windows, again, these are just like, okay, if you want to move things around in the pane here, again, you won't need anything here. You will need to change this unless you want to see multiple worksheets together, create a tab group, and so on. But most of the time you won't need anything. And then help. If you need help with something, you can come here. This second line here, you can navigate back and you can navigate forward. This is to create a new project. This is to create a new item, like a new what's it called? A new tab. You can go open, if you have saved something, if you have saved the code, you can go open it here. I showed you two ways to save a code. Right click here or go to file and save. The third way to save is to click this. Or you click this to save as if you want to change the name. Another thing, to open this tab, you can click new tab. Rather than right-clicking here and clicking select, you can just click new tab here and there will be no query. Out of all of this first one, database engine, is the only one you will need, at least in this class. The rest of this you will not need. If I click this, let me close this first. And then I'll come here to click new query. Sorry, I'll click this new database engine query. And then it brings me here. It opens a new tab, but it's asking me to authenticate again. This icon, new query, and this icon, they do the same thing. The only difference is that when you use this second one, it will ask you to authenticate again before you can open a new tab for you. This icon is to cut something. You type something, you want to cut it, you can cut it there. This is to copy, and this is to paste. Back, forward, and back buttons. Then activity monitor, you won't need this. Now, when you click a column here, or if you are typing, if you've typed a lot of things and you want to search for something, you can press Ctrl F. When you press Ctrl F to find, there are two ways you could find. You can use this button to find. You go type here. If I click customer key now, do I have customer key here? Okay, I'm going to copy this. I click somewhere here, I paste here, I type, I press enter. See how the moment I press enter, it highlighted this. So this is one way to find something in the canvas. Another way to find it is to press Ctrl F. And then this shows on the top right hand side. You can now type and it finds. But be careful here, especially when you have to replace. To replace something, click this arrow and then type what you want to replace it with. But be careful. Look at the bottom here. It says current document. That means it is searching for list price and replacing it with value 2 in this document. There are times you may not notice if you're not careful. This could say all open documents. If you do complete this operation, what is going to happen is that in this, you can have 10 tabs open. It's going to look at every single tab. Anywhere it says list price, is going to change it with this. That may not be what you desired. So be careful. Always make sure that you don't use all open. You select current document. Unless you really need it to be all open or current project or entire solution. But most of the time, you need current document. So after you're done, you have these two icons here. This is to go to next, and this is to replace all of them. If you want to be replacing one by one, you'd use this. If you want to replace everything, you use this. If you no longer want to replace, you just want to find, click this arrow back, and it finds it for you. And you can either click this or click this arrow to go to the next one. This also gives the option, find next, find previous, and find all. If you are done finding, just click this, and then it goes away. If you come back here, this was where we stopped. You see this option here, Solution Explorer, which is what you are actually, this is Subject Explorer, not Solution Explorer. Solution Explorer, you will not need it, but let me click it and show you what it is. It's on the right hand side. You see that we have two queries here. When I click a query, it gets highlighted. But again, you really don't need this. Then you can have properties windows, which again, you are not going to need. Then this toolbox on the left, you don't need it. So basically, that's all that you need underline. Then this next line, again, you have connect, which is no longer highlighted because we have already connected. You have this to actually change connection. Here, you have connect and disconnect. But this can actually, rather than disconnecting, it will change connection. Let's say you have 3 databases or 3 servers. You want to go from server 1 to server 3 without disconnecting server 1. This is what you use. And then this shows the name of the database you are working on. You can select. Now, when you have a query, look at this. I have 2 databases here. Let's see, do I have any table in common? Dimension date. Do I have dimension date here? Okay, yeah, I have dimension date here. This is the first database. I have dimension date there. This is the second database. I have dimension date there. If I let me right click. Oh, let me not do that. Let's do this. If I say, don't bother to understand the syntax of what I'm going to write here, I'm going to explain it for you later, not today. If I tell database, select star from dimension.date. If I run this, it worked. It showed me the result. Remember, I have dimension.date in this database. I have dimension.date in this database. How did management studio know where to get it, either from this database or from here? This is what determines it. I have AdventureWorks DW 2019 selected. Therefore, when I wrote select star from dimension.date, Management Studio knows to go check it in this database, not this second database, because I have AdventureWorks DW 2019. If for whatever reason I want to get it from Worldwide Importers DW, what I'm going to do is to come here, change it to Worldwide Importer DW 2019, and then run this again. Now this result is from this second database. And again, you see these 3 or 4, master, model, MSDB, TempDB, do not do anything in them. They are part of the system database. So this determines what database Management Studio is going to work with. As you might have noticed, this execute is what I press so that this query runs. When a query is running, fortunately, all the queries I've run, they are very, very small. They run instantly. As you can see, within 0 seconds, they run. But there are times that you are running a very long code that is taking a long time to run. When it's running, this icon, this next icon that is grayed out, it becomes red. If you start running a query, and then at the point you think you no longer need it, you want to stop it, just press that red button and it will cancel. There are times, depending on how intensive it is, like if it's like memory intensive or something, when you click cancel, it may not cancel immediately. It may take some minutes before it cancels, but eventually it will still cancel. The next icon is check. Now, when I'm running query, look at this. I get an error. I just typed this. I made a mistake. I did not have E in the date, and I have an error. it's easy for me to notice here that there's an error. First of all, anytime you see red highlight, you know that something is wrong. But imagine if I have a very long code. You see 2 lines. I've written codes in my place of work that are more than 1,500 rows. Instead of having to go from row 1 to row 1,500 to figure out, okay, is everything good? Will it run? Will it not run? I may want to check if my code is going to run successfully or not. I may not want to run it yet, but I still want to check if it's going to run without an error. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to pass the query. Management Studio is going to try to look at it and see if there's something like syntax error in my code. And then it tells me. For an example, if I click this now, I click this, it says command run successfully. Even though there's still an error, there are times that this doesn't quite give you, there are times that there may be an error and this does not detect it. This time it detected it. Because this one is a syntax error. When I click this, it tells me that there's an error near this. It tells me where it is. Remember, I told you that I always like to have the row number. See, message 102, level 15, state 1, line 2. This tells me my error is on line 2. This is line 2. Incorrect syntax near from dimension, because I'm supposed to put a space between from and dimension. So without running this query, I just click pass and it tells me that there's an error. I can go fix it. It detected that because that is a syntax error, an error that has to do with the way you write your code. Like, there are syntax when you are working with a language, which next week we are going to talk about SQL. I'm writing a language. The way I'm speaking English right now, this is a language that I'm using to communicate with the computer. When you don't speak it well, that's a syntax error. But this is also an error. This date that I did not type correctly is also an error, but this is not a syntax error. That's why when I click this, it's not able to detect it because this is a name. This could as well be the correct name with the date without E. So don't rely on this checkbox alone. There are things it can detect, there are things it cannot detect. This you are not going to need. This is just to display an execution plan. When I run a code, I said a few minutes ago that this is a language I'm using to communicate with a database. When I write this, the computer, it's as if somebody is just learning English. This person speaks Yoruba. The person is learning English. The person brings out a book that is written in English. Is trying to read it. But before because the person is still learning, before the person can understand it, is first translating it into Yoruba. Or put it in another way. We have two people, A and B. A does not speak English. A only speaks Yoruba. B speaks English and Yoruba. You want to communicate with A, you only speak English. You are saying something in English, but A does not speak English. B that speaks both Yoruba and English has to now translate your English to Yoruba for A to understand. That is what is happening behind the scene here. You are typing something in a language here. Behind the scene, this is going to be translated into a language the computer understands. And the computer will not tell you, okay, this is the way I'm going to work. I want to go get something in church from my house. I will get out of my house. I will go on Bellingham Lane. I will turn left to Kirby Lane. I will go 20 miles. Let's not say 20 miles. I will go 2 miles. I will turn right to Main Street. I'll go and 0.5 miles. I'll turn left and so on until I get to the church. Description of what to do. That is what this does. Execution plan. But you don't need it. Query options. You don't need it to that. Intelligence enables. This is what tells you when there's like what's it called? There are times that you are trying to type something. See, I type D, and this is giving me option that I may want to type date. It's suggesting date for me. Then I click date. This is what made it possible, intelligence, because I enabled it. Then I have actual execution plan. We talked about execution plan here. This is the estimated. You can send somebody from the house to the church, or you are going to from your house to the church. You put on your GPS. Your GPS will tell you this is the way it's going to navigate. But your GPS may not know that one way is blocked. You get to that way, the place is blocked. Your GPS is going to have to navigate and go through another way, different from what it suggested to you at home. The same way, it estimated that, okay, this is the execution plan. This is how I'm going to execute your code. But when it starts to do it, it might actually find out that there's a better way to do it. That's when it now does it in a different way. If you want to see the way it does it, instead of the way it estimated it initially, this is what you are going to use. But again, you won't need it. Include live query statistic, how things are running, you won't need it. Client statistics, you won't need it. Result to text. Remember, when I run this code, the result shows here. Rather than letting the result show here, I can actually save the result to text. Where is it? This option. Rather than showing here, I may want to save it as a text. This is it. We have this selected, which is what I'm using right now. Result to grid. This is the grid. You can see that this is highlighted. If I click this, rather than showing me here, it will save the result for me. This last option is to save it to file. Again, the middle option is what you want to say, click. Then we have these two, they are just to comment and uncomment. Let's say we have this code. And I just think that I don't want this to show up in the result. I can as well just remove it. But if I think I'm going to need it later, I don't want to remove it, right? At the same time, I don't want to show it in the result. What do? I comment it out. Remember, this is products of category alternative key, which is this column. If I run this code now, that column no longer shows because I have commented it out. To comment it out, you click this. To uncomment this, now if you want it to show again, you click this. And if you run it, it comes back. Rather than clicking this to let it show, you can just click the front and just put dash dash. It's equivalent to doing this. If you no longer want that, just remove it. These two are to create indentation in your code. See, this last one, template parameters, you will need this. This is to have a parameter to make something change. Like, let's say we want to have a where clause. Let's say when now I want to look for the record where this column is equal to 1. Again, don't bother understanding this. We will get there. Now it shows. If later I want to make it 2, there's a way I can control the value here, and that is by using parameter. But again, for the purpose of this class, you are not going to do this, so don't worry about it. And here on that server, remember, you have different kinds of engine here. You have database engine, analysis server, reporting service, greater services, SSI. In the same way, here under register server, you have database, analysis service, reporting service, integration service. It's only the first one you are going to need for the purpose of this class. Any question?
No.
There are times that you may have some errors that will show here. Usually, most of the time your error will show here, but there are times that it might show at the bottom here, but most of the time you will not need this error list. So this is the interface. Some of the things I went over today, you will understand them better when we actually start to write codes and you start to use them. This is where we are going to stop today. Today is just to walk you through the interface. Please make sure you download and install SQL Server, Management Studio, and the database before next class.
Okay.
Yeah, because
sorry. I found out what was taking so much storage inside of my C drive, and I was able to move it. So I'll download it by the end of today, and I'll get everything ready.
Okay, good. Yeah, so everyone, please make sure you do so as well. There will be a need, or should I say, I will recommend that you follow me as I'm working in class. You may not follow every single step, but occasionally as I'm working, I want you to try to do it on your own as well. It's easy for you to see me write certain code. This is 2026. I've been writing SQL code since 2015 or 14. So it's like 11 or 12 years. And I write it every single day. Except for my current job, that there could be some days I don't write it. But up from 2014 or 2015 till my last job, I used to write this every single day. So you will see me do something you think is easy. It may not be that easy. It's better you follow me and do it on your own. Go ahead, ma. Hello, ma. It's like you raised your hand, ma. You might be talking on mute. Oh. Okay. I cannot hear you, ma. I don't know if you're talking. Okay. So I would recommend that even if you don't follow every single step, at least occasionally try to type the same things I'm typing and see and try to do it on your own. I would strongly recommend that so that you get used to it. So, yeah, this is where we are going to end the session today. Any question?
Nope. not for me.
Okay. All right. I will make sure I share the recording of today latest by tomorrow, God helping me, so that some of the things we did at the beginning, some of the explanations I made at the beginning, everybody can look at it. So, but hold on, please. Okay, so per adventure, there is anybody that, we have different ways of learning. I mentioned earlier that I will recommend that you try to follow me. It doesn't have to be every single step. Occasionally, just try to type some of the things. But some people don't learn that way. There are some people that they actually have to listen and see everything. If that's the way you learn, that's good as well. But one thing you will have to do if that's the way you learn is this. After the class, go back and try to do it on your own. This thing you really need to practice to master it. There's no shortcut to this specific, and I mentioned maybe 2-3 weeks ago. In this program, we are going to do 4 or 5 different courses. This is the most important one. This is the one that will help your career the most. So I want everybody to learn this. So if you are the one that you have to listen in class, after the class, go back and try to do those things on your own. So yeah, either you follow me to do it or you listen and go back to try to do it on your own. But you must practice for you to master this. What I'm teaching you is something that I've been doing for 12 years or thereabout. That's why you see me doing this. When my first year or first few months, I could not do some of these things I can do today. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Okay. That's the end of today's session. If there's no question, next week we'll go into SQL. All right, again, wait, I thought I recorded. Okay, yeah, I'm still recording. Okay. Again, any last minute question? All right, let's